pedal people, it's the Pedal Guy here. How you doing? Today what we're going to do is we're going to get into the different track modes of the Headrush Looperboard. But before we get started, please take a second and click on that subscribe button down there so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. And if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow us so you can stay up to date with all of our activities. The Looperboard has 5 different track modes. It has fixed, serial sync, and free. Now we covered fixed in the first video tutorial, so if you haven't had a chance to go back and check that out yet, be sure to do that. For those of you that did check it out, let's just go ahead and skip to serial mode. Okay, so we're ready to record our first track here, which is going to be our master track. So I'm going to hit the record play dub button for track 1. I'm going to get a 1-bar count off, and away we go. Okay, so that's pretty clean. The next thing is we're going to record track 2, and then I'm going to switch between the 2 tracks and show you exactly what's going on with serial mode. So here we go. Okay, so at this point now, track 1 and track 2 have been recorded. So if I'm going to go back to track 1, what I want to do is I want to hit that stop undo button there for track 1. You'll see the green LED on the record play dub button light up, meaning that it's ready to go ahead and play that track once this track reaches the end of the loop. So let's go ahead and press it. You can see it's now green, and as it goes to the end of the loop, it's going to jump back to track 1. Now let's go back to track 2. Right, so it's pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and record track 3. Now, one little trick one little tip I definitely want to make sure that you're aware of. If you're going to be doing this where you're going to have one track go into the next track, go into the next track, go into the next track, you want to make sure that they're dynamically matched. Otherwise, what you're going to get is you're going to get a huge jump in volume, and you're going to have to make some adjustments with the mixer, and that could be kind of a pain in the butt. So when you're doing this live, just remember, you kind of want to keep them somewhat in the same dynamic range, okay? So here we go. Now let's say I wanted to overdub. We can do that quite easily. Just hit the record play dub button for track 3. You'll get a 1-bar count off, and then go ahead and overdub. Now the same rules apply. If you're not happy with that take and you want to go ahead and redo it, you can always hold down the record play dub button and it'll peel that layer back, which was on take 2. So we'll hold it one more time. And now we're back to square 1. Okay, at this point now we've recorded tracks 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and finish it off, and let's record 4. And so that's what serial recording is all about. So at this point now, as track 4 is playing back, I can go ahead and cue up track 1. And we can have it go to all the way, jump over to track 3 if we want to. Jump over to track 2. And then we can have it go to track 4. And that's what serial recording is all about. So as we go further down the other track modes and we get to serial sync is a mixture of both of these different track modes, and you'll see how that works in just a minute. The next track mode we're going to check out is sync mode. Sync mode ensures that all 4 tracks are playing back in synchronization. It requires you to have a master track on track 1, which could be a loop that is pre-selected and loaded in from the factory settings if you want, or something you record. And then all of the other tracks will follow that master track. A couple of the other cool things here is that you can record simultaneously across all of the tracks if you want to. Additionally, each one of the tracks can also be different lengths, so they don't have to be married to the same length. For example, track 1 could be 2 bars. Track 2 could be 4 bars. Track 3 could be 8 bars. Track 4 could be 1 bar. It doesn't matter. After you're done recording, what the looper board will do is it will quantize it and play it in synchronization with track 1. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and import a loop into the first track and make that our master track. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 120 into the search engine. That'll give me all of the loops that are set to the master tempo, that match to the master tempo, I should say. We're going to bring in Modern Rock 2, and this is kind of a shuffle idea. And now we're ready to go ahead. So let's go ahead and record our first track. Okay, so as you can hear now, we've recorded 4 tracks, and as you can also see, the playheads are completely in sync. It's going against track 1 and 2, which are the same exact length, but then track 3 is much shorter, and track 4 is much longer, but it's all in perfect sync. So that's what sync mode is all about. So let's go ahead and hit stop, and now it's time to move on to the serial sync mode.